What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is September 26th of 2017. Well, folks, as you all keep up with the cryptocurrency industry, you know that each and every day there's about a dozen new ICOs to cover, and I try to cover coins as much as I can on this channel, whether it be the coins, tokens, whatever it may be. And there's so many concepts coming out that I really try to nail it down and cover the ones that interest me, something that I feel is viable to share with you all. And today is no exception. Today I want to be sharing with you all a recent ICO that's launching that's aiming to disrupt a very big problem in the world right now. Right now, there's a lot of ownership problems for average individuals. So, for example, it's not easy for me to own fractions in a home or in a startup. Those are usually limited markets for very controlled parties. Whereas I can own stocks and a lot of things like that that are flexible, and I can own partial sharing. I can't own major share in private equity. I also can't buy partial shares of certain real estate properties that I think might go up over time. And that's why I really want to start with this article here, whether or not I think my webcam might be blocking a little bit of it. But the whole title of this is, Will Blockchain Ignite the Fractional Ownership Market for Homes? This is a serious question, and I think it's something that, in my personal opinion, tokenization can really fix. How cryptocurrencies in general can really fix this. And as someone who's seen this as a very big issue, and I think is one of the reasons why there's a decent amount of wealth disparity in the world, is because of the lacks of flexibility for an average individual to invest in a variety of other markets and exchanges. So the ICO we're going to talk about today is going to fix just that. It's applying the concept of tokenization on everyday assets, whether they be physical or digital, and being able to invest in those. And it can be things such as stocks, commodities, homes, all kinds of different ownership-based markets. So let's go ahead and look at the ICO. Today we're going to be talking about LATO. Now, I know a lot of people are probably debating as to how that's pronounced. Is it LATO or LATO? I thought it was actually LATO, but I later on figured out that it's pronounced LATO. So anyways, let's go ahead, let's jump into it and talk about what it's all about. Well, we can see right here on the website, it's trading real assets in crypto. It's being able to bring all assets onto one central exchange and being able to have ownership in all of those assets or those different types of assets on one central exchange. It seems really interesting to me. So you can trade globally 24/7, huge selling point, up to 50 times leverage. That's massive for traders. And also in general, the major selling point is you can tokenize assets or list your asset-backed tokens. So again, this is a really interesting concept. You can learn more about it. They have a Telegram and a WeChat, but we're going to go ahead and dive into the website and really learn about what this is all about. Now, to be fair, there are a few competitors in the space trying to do generally the same thing, but they haven't gone to the extent of LATO. There is really no debate. They are ahead of the game, and we'll see that later on as we go through a few different statistics on their website and their white paper. So this is a way that they're really trying to bring investment strategy to the blockchain by diversifying into a variety of different assets and being able to open new doors for average everyday investors. This to me sounds like something very interesting. And this is yet again showing how blockchain and cryptocurrency and tokenization can really bring the freedom of finance back to the individual, not keeping it in controlled groups such as VCs or angel investors. No, now we're actually able to invest in a lot of large commodities and equities and properties that the average individual used to not have the opportunity to do. And the greatest thing about it all, folks, is we look through this, you'll learn that the LA trading platform is actually open. You can actually register on it. It's already legally compliant in a lot of ways. So you can actually go start ownership in these different kinds of things. And for example, they just actually opened up a tokenized asset for shares in Apple the other day. So you can actually own Apple shares on the platform and receive rewards for it if it does well. So again, the token sale for this round is coming to a close relatively soon. However, do not fear. There is going to be more rounds for the ICO. It's not completely over. It's going to go over into October. And the price right now is pretty decent if you really think this is going to take off long term. So again, we can talk about that more later on. But you can see they've gotten some great business coverage, as we saw the Forbes article. They've also got TechCrunch, Cointelegraph, Financial Times, Business Inc., and then also HuffPost. So this is like a lot of good media coverage. I got to be fair to them. So if you go here, you can watch this video. It helps kind of explain it. It's kind of a corny, kind of old looking video, but it really does get the point across as to what they're doing. They're trying to break the barriers of multitudes of exchanges and limits and barriers to the average individual to invest in a wide variety of assets, commodities, and properties. So I think it's a really interesting concept. The question is is it easy to use? Can you use it right now? Are they ahead of the game comparative to other competition? And yes, they are. I gotta give it to them straight ahead. The one thing that they have over anyone else is that they are ahead of other people. There's actually a working platform that you can use right now, even during the token sale, or at least you can register for. So again, this is for a wide variety of things, and even things like exotic art. So I think that there is definitely a platform for this. If it doesn't overtake equities markets or become the biggest exchange, there's a lot of things that can be traded on here and tokenized that originally didn't have an open platform for people to have partial ownership in. So there's a whole kind of description as to how the system works here. The visual here on the right side really makes a good example of how it works. It's really simple, honestly. It really brings in the asset owner, the middle ground, which is the token custody, which is the platform itself, the investor, and really bringing it in as a whole and being able to tokenize the asset and being able to trade those assets on an open exchange and be able to give ownership to average everyday investors, whether you're small or large. So again, a very interesting concept that I think actually has the viability to take off. So you have exposure to real assets via crypto. This is breaking the barrier and really making the decentralized exchange something more than just a decentralized exchange for crypto. This is being able to bring in all kinds of different commodities. So again, very interesting. Tokenizing your own assets. You've got a house that you want to sell or put up on the market and you want to raise some capital, tokenize it. You can do it. I mean, it's really that simple. Now, there is legal documents you have to sign, but it's quite simple to tokenize a certain asset. So long as you go through the legal compliancy, and you do own the actual product or commodity that you're trying to put up on the market, you can do it. So the thing is too as well, they've already got an operational platform. So you can invest in a variety of shares of stock, for example, Apple, Amazon, and Tesla, commodities, oil, gold, and silver, and real estate ETFs, where you can actually own partial ownership in real estate. To me, this sounds like a really cool idea, and it's something that I actually would consider myself because I'd like to invest in some of these commodities. I'd like to still get into equities once they pull back. And I'd like to be able to invest in real estate as well. This seems like an interesting concept, but again, it's making sure, I mean, they've already got a platform that works. That's the thing. I want to criticize them on that and say, they've got to have a platform that works, but it seems like they've got at least a functioning product. Now, the token protocol calls on a multitude of things. It's an open source multiple asset tokenization application. So if we go through, we can see there's a few benefits. It ensures that there's a link between a token and the underlying asset, is legally and technically enforceable, and enables peer-to-peer contractual right transfer. So being able to use the token itself on the platform, you have the flexibility of knowing that the platform itself is legally compliant. So, there's just that kind of safety in knowing that you can invest in a wide variety of these different assets, commodities, and properties and not have to worry about breaking legal compliancy. There's also open source tokenization protocol tailored for any asset class, so you can tokenize anything. And that brings a lot of freedom and a lot of interest and a multitude of markets into this, giving it a high sense of valuation if people adopt it. Compliant for peer-to-peer trading on the LATO platform and other exchanges. So you can actually have the token not only on the exchange, but you can bring it to other exchanges as well as your wallet as well. So again, very interesting stuff. And a quick launch for public and private equity, debt, commodities, funds, real estate, and even works of art. So a multitude of markets, and it makes it quick to get on. Boarding is one of the biggest issues in a sense of adoption. And to make it so something like, for example, an asset that you can put onto the platform can be tokenized so simply and so quickly, as you see through some of the videos and as we'll talk about later on, that is a huge boarding advantage comparative to other platforms. The fact that the platform already has legal compliance, it's already launched, and people can just launch things onto the platform like that, so long as they meet the legal documentation and sign everything off, it's pretty interesting, folks. I gotta say, it's something that I think could take off. And I hope, whether or not it does take off, people in a sense do adopt. I don't know if it's gonna happen quick or if it's gonna take a long time, or if the LATO, the actual token behind the platform is going to hold a lot of value. I don't know, but they do have a lot of big goals for it. So again, there is massive equities markets across the world. If you're considering everything as a whole, real estate, equities for listed domestic companies, debt, commodities, works of art, whatever it may be. These are massive markets, folks. These are huge industries that people value and could eventually tokenize. Now, I don't think that they're going to be able to tokenize everything, but if they do become the platform, the leading platform for this kind of tokenization of assets, their cryptocurrency, or their token in this case, is going to be worth a lot, okay? So, again, very interesting stuff. And I think right now, for example, right here, we have global trading volume. This is how much is traded each year. And I think that you're going to see a lot of these assets that aren't really traded right now. It's going to open the door for them. That's going to be really the big game changer. It's going to give a platform that originally a lot of assets didn't have a platform to be traded or owned on. So this is the token distribution as well. They've got, of course, as standard with most ICOs, 50% going through the token sale. So people who participate will actually get to have ownership in it. The company holds about 20%. There's a team pool for about 10% of it. And then also for network growth. So expansion of the LATO platform is around 20%. So I think that this is a fair amount. 50% I always look for. If it's less than 50%, that gets me a little bit worried. However, they've got a nice distribution to continue expanding the platform and to reward the team properly, and also give enough for the community to own it. So the supply of tokens is going to be 400 million, and there's going to be over 600 million frozen tokens. So again, very interesting. And of course, you can contribute as well. Watch this video if you want to learn. But I want to go real quick and dive through the team here, folks. Again, I always tell you all, with bold concepts, you need bold teams. Sorry if I kind of messed up there, but I really do mean it. You need a large team of marketers, business professionals, legal advisors, financial advisors, and most importantly, developers. And they have all of those. They have people from a wide range of experience and both experience and skill sets. If we scroll through, just look at all the different roles here. Not to mention they've got their Facebook and LinkedIn profiles. You can scroll through and see that you have pretty much everything you need to make this a reality. This isn't a team of 4 individuals saying that they're going to make the next big trading platform. If we go here to see all team members, I'm going to go here because I really want to show you the scale of it. I mean, just scroll through and you can see how many individuals are on this team. It's phenomenal. And I look for these kind of large teams, and it says something, because if you've got this, group of people claiming such a bold thing, not only do you want a team that can go on delivering that bold platform, but along with that, if you have a lot of team members, it shows that there's a sense of liability. They're all working to build a platform that people are going to use. This isn't some, oh yeah, we've got a great ICO concept. No, they've got a platform. They've got the actual legal advisors over the platform, making sure that it functions properly, that it can have a quick boarding process, or people can use the platform. So, I mean, this isn't a joke, folks. This isn't some laughing matter ICO. They're actually serious about this. Now, whether or not they will be able to be adopted in the long run is the real question. They are very early on. They're still going through phases of their ICO. That's the real question. Are they going to be adopted in the long run? So, again, we'll have to see about that. But they have some very good long-term goals. They hope that the overall value of the asset tokens traded on the token platform will be 1.2 trillion by 2025. Now, that's a high-scale objective, I gotta say. It's a little optimistic, but I think if, especially if equities markets over the next few years really kind of draw people towards crypto, and they start learning about like the LATO platform, this could be a great branch for people to invest in a wide variety of other industries that propose good value, and opening that door to allow everyone to participate in it and everyone to invest in a wide variety of assets and commodities and bonds and works of art. That is going to draw people to this platform. Now, again, ambitions are high, but they should have high ambitions, whether or not they're able to deliver on that sense of scale. If they're anywhere close to this level, it is going to mean great things for the investors of the actual LATO. So we will have to see. Again, large markets, folks. Huge potential if they can actually launch off. And there's some great videos and resources you should watch through of the actual CEO behind the project, and you can learn a lot about the actual company. They've got a timeline here. I don't want to look at the shortened timeline. They've actually got a full scalable timeline. Their timeline so far talks a little bit about their past ventures and what they've done in the past with investments. However, if you scroll down, you learn more about the actual tokenized platform and everything. They've got the wallet deployed. They just recently launched the first tokenized Apple shares that you can own on the platform. So you can own Apple shares on the platform, which is really interesting. Not even having to touch Scottrade or E-Trade, so you don't need a brokerage platform or the ridiculous commissions they charge. And then As well as that, you can also see the different token rounds. So they're going all the way to October 10th, so you're not too late to this, folks, if you saw that 2-hour countdown. And then also scaling of asset token trading. So full-scale trading of different types of assets. I mean, this is just, it is really incredible, folks. And again, everything else mostly is really focused on long-term expansion and goals that they've set. Again, the 1.2 trillion mark. Now, will they be able to meet this? Only time will tell. But again, I like how the majority of their timeline goals are just growth standards, because they've got the platform. It's not, oh yeah, in 2020 we'll have a platform built. No, you can go use it now. Like, that's the thing. I always tell you all, with ICOs, if they don't have functioning technology or at least a minimal viable product, why would I want to put my money in it? Because I could go out and do the exact same thing and say, oh yeah, I've got the next big idea for something. They've got a functioning platform. So again, don't mean to like shill it in any sense. I'm not trying to just like, continuously sit on edge and say it's the best platform out there, but they've actually got a functioning product. We'll actually see that as we go through here on the white paper. I thought it'd be one of the more interesting things to show you. Again, the platform has a lot of different offers. So if we go here and zoom in on the white paper, you can see you have the LATO wallet, where you can store both your LATO, the actual tokens for the platform, as well as ownership in different commodities, assets, through the tokenization of them. And then also you have assets and price discovery. So for example, you can look up homes, you can look up properties of all sorts, and be able to see visual pictures, learn about their valuations over time, and being able to participate in ownership of those properties. So I think it's interesting. They also have NAV and risk management. This is important if you're going to provide a platform that allows you to invest in all kinds of different things, especially real estate, being able to assess risk profiles and know how much, what you're getting into and how much you've got to put up. And what's the risk of associating yourself with that certain property or commodity or whatever it may be. So again, very important. And then they've also got a trading terminal where you can invest in these different types of equities. So you can own Apple shares, Amazon, your favorite companies, whatever it may be. So, I mean, folks, this is really big. And again, as I said, the token's ahead of everyone. They really are. This chart says it right here. I know a lot of people have been asking me about the real ICO for the real estate investment platform. They're again ahead of them. Atlant ahead of them. Digix ahead of them. I mean, this is really big stuff, folks. Really big. They're tapping all of these markets. They're not setting themselves up to one individual market, and they're way ahead of the game on everyone. They've got the team to deliver, and they've already got the functioning technology. So again, I think I want to learn more about this, folks. I haven't invested in the ICO, to be fair with you all. I haven't participated in any sense, but I will say this. I'd love to learn more about it. So if you all would like to learn more about it as well, I'd love to reach out to some of the team, get an interview on this. I think that the tokenization of assets in this world could be the next step to bring financial freedom outside of just simply blockchain to the individual. Bring it back to the people and really allow us to have financial freedom in our lives. It's a great revolution in technology, and whether they take off or not, or are the leader in this space, I think it's a great step in the right direction. Well, anyways, I'd like to know what you all think about it down in the comments down below. I know I rambled on for quite some time, but I'd love to hear if you all think the same way that I do on this. I really think it could be big, and it's the reason I covered this ICO. But again, I'd like to hear what you all think about it. If there's a coin or token you want to see covered, let me know down in the comments down below. If you'd like to see one of the representatives from the team on the LATO project on this channel, let me know. We can definitely try to schedule an interview. But until then, everyone, I will see you all in the next video. Stay tuned.